Monday Mirage, where you get an opportunity to find out what's real and just a figment of our sports imagination right here. Goz is going to lay them out there. We tell you if it's real, meaning it could happen again, or Mirage never ever going to see it again.
The Minnesota Miracles, it's now being called. The Minnesota Miracle is a play that could help the Vikings win the Super Bowl. That play alone in its momentum.
Man, I tell you, you heard in the call, the hometown call, where they say, you know, it's your year, it's your year. They do kind of have a team of destiny feel about them. You know, Case Keenum, whatever his name is, Case Keenum, I'm changing his name. He looks the part of a guy who's going to roll in and do something special for a year. And then maybe never do anything again. But I like it, man.
I think the answer is real here. There's something about all these curses breaking where there's that moment you're like, oh, this is going to happen. Whether it's the Red Sox and their comeback, you're like, all right, this is the year. Whether it's the Cubs coming back in the World Series, this is it. Cleveland in the NBA Finals, the Cavaliers getting it done for their city. There's always that moment. And when Vikings fans look back, they may say that was the moment that ended our suffering for so many years, that Minnesota Miracle play with Stephon Diggs. So, yeah, it's real. It can really do this. And I know they're the favorites against Philly on the road this week, but with momentum like that on your side, the Super Bowl in your home city, it's something to be excited about for sure if you're a Viking fan. My goodness.
I just think it's interesting that there's only one team left in the Final Four who has won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. You could have a possible matchup if it's Jacksonville versus anybody else. Someone's getting their first Lombardi trophy.
That'd be so cool.
The Pittsburgh Steelers coaching. The coaching for the Pittsburgh Steelers was the reason why they lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I'm sorry, real. That's real. And I'll tell you why. I think it was when Tomlin came out early this year and said, you know, we're going to play him in the playoffs, we're going to play him twice, started talking about the Patriots then. It set a tone for that team where the championship was not necessarily the Super Bowl, it was beating the Patriots. And when they knew the Patriots were one game away, they slept on Jacksonville, and Jacksonville did just enough to make them pay for it. And I know Ken from Latham and a lot of other people are talking about the refs. If you play your best game for Pittsburgh and Jacksonville plays their best game, the refs can't help them. Pittsburgh should have beat them. They should have beat them.
See, baseball started this trend where if your team had a really good season and you made the postseason, nobody cares anymore. Now it's time to blame your coaches when it comes to the postseason. How many managers made the playoffs, it seems like, in baseball, but it didn't matter what they actually did. The heat was on them that they were going to lose their job. Same way seems like this for Mike Tomlin. Now, do I think Pittsburgh should have had a better game plan in the first quarter? No question. But there's 75% of the game left. Pittsburgh had opportunities at the end. If you want to criticize maybe the second fourth down call, okay. But one of the fourth down calls resulted in a touchdown. If you want to be more aggressive against the defense because you don't want Leonard Fournette and others to eat up the clock on you, I don't really have a big issue there. Maybe the first quarter cost them the game for Steeler fans, but I can't sit here and say it was coaching that cost them the victory. So I'm going to have to go Mirage on this one. But another one involving the Steelers, real or Mirage, Ben Roethlisberger played his final game as a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Oh, I wish I could say real so bad right now. Mirage. He's going to keep coming back until, so you know, he's just who he is. He's going to make you think he's not coming back, and then he's going to come back. He just needs attention. Baby need his banky. That's all it is.
You love ripping apart Ben Roethlisberger as much as I love ripping apart J.J. Watt. You can't get enough of it.
You know what the difference between the two is?
JJ doesn't show up in the boot in the press conference.
JJ Watt shows you how great he is on a day-to-day basis, where Ben goes, I guess I'm not great. Please tell me I'm great. Could you tell me? He fishes for compliments. I can't stand him. Now, you know what you're not going to be able to stand even more is that Roethlisberger's going to make this storyline for, 3 months now? Is Ben Roethlisberger bad? Oh, I'll talk about it later. Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking about
absolutely.
it. I don't know. Baby,
absolutely.
How bad do you want me back, guys? Do you need me?
Well, I have an ingrown toenail. It's very serious. And I also I have inflation disease. What's inflation disease, Ben? I eat a lot during the off season, and I inflate to a big fat guy. I can do that. I'm fat, slab.
You know what? I'm going to go real here on Ben Roethlisberger. I think it was this last game for a Pittsburgh Steeler. There's a lot of pressure on this organization for how good Bell, Brown, and Roethlisberger are, especially Brown and Bell, arguably in the prime of their careers. I think Ben's going to walk away. He thought about it last year. We haven't heard anything else since it. I'm going to go with real and see what happens on that one. The New England Patriot performances in playoff games are underappreciated. Real or mirage?
The New England Patriots
playoff performances. If you want to do it to make it more easy, how about the last 3 years? They've been underappreciated.
I guess here's why I'm having trouble with this one, because I just expect them to win. I don't. So I guess I do appreciate them, fear them, hate them, annoyed by them. I'm going to say Mirage, because I think most people just expect greatness, and that's what you usually get. So I'm going to say Mirage, but I will say this: if they had lost, that would have been fun.
See, that's what's so tough about this one in Monday Mirage, is because real is what we see. The Patriots have showed us for so many seasons. This is what we do. This is what you should expect us to do. So when we see a game like you're talking about, fans expect it. But I have to go real in the sense that they're underappreciated, because when that bar is set that high, we forget how hard it is. Like that matchup against the Tennessee Titans, that's the divisional playoffs.
Right.
That's the top 4 best teams in the entire conference. New England made it look easy. They did the same thing last year against the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans were a playoff team that just won a playoff game. Easy, blowouts. They're blowing teams out in the playoffs when the game should matter the most, and we're just like, oh, it's the Patriots. That's what they should be doing. I hope we're not taking it for granted. Maybe some people are rooting against them, so I don't know. I got 3 more left for you here. The Philadelphia Eagles, no matter the result on Sunday, this season and how far they've gotten should be considered a success.
See, this is a tough one. Man, can it be realish again?
Oh, you're going relish? You put it on the hot dog.
I'm going to put a little relish on the hot dog, because I don't think you can oversell how important Carson Wentz is to that team. So if Wentz was around, I would say they got to win it all. But Nick Foles, Napoleon Dynamite? No, not so much. Like, I think Vegas has already told you what they think of this team.
Eagle fans don't need me to say this because they've known it so many times, especially somebody like me who's rooted for Donovan McNabb in so many of these games before, except one when the Buccaneers got him. But Eagle fans have been in this NFC title spot before. The answer for me is real. Even if they lose this game against Minnesota, they can have a laundry list of excuses. We were the underdog. Minnesota was coming off that big victory. They were playing at home. We didn't have Carson Wentz. We were in a battle against Atlanta the previous week. They have a lot of reasons as to why they would not be able to win this game. So, real. You go from last place to 1 win away from the Super Bowl. That's an amazing season for Philadelphia.
Yeah, but now you're being real, and fans don't do that.
I got one here for you. And I can't believe this is so low on the list. I don't even know if this is going to make the top 5 at 5 today. The Golden State Warriors and Cleveland Cavaliers are playing today. Warriors-Cavaliers is an important game tonight. Real and mirage.
Warriors-Cavaliers. Does anything feel important right now with football going on the way it is? Real, but not like super real. Not like whoever loses this can't come home or whatever. No. But I think that we're starting to get a point in the season where the rubber's meeting the road, where you're going to the Cavs now have to start grooming everything to work together. The Warriors, they have way less to prove for me. I'm going to say real for the Cavs and kind of mirages for the Warriors.
See, what you just said there made me feel like it's mirage for the start of it, because it's the exact opposite of what you and I do. We're in sports talk radio, so people tell us what they feel like is important. We reflect the interest of the fans here in the capital region. We haven't got one tweet, one text, one email, one call. Nobody's been talking about Warriors-Cavaliers for what you just said there, for how good the football weekend's been, for some other storylines going across football. We will never tell you, hey, this game's important, here's why. No, you tell us, because we care what you think. So the answer for me is mirage. If no one, at least in sports it seems like right now, thinks tonight's Warriors-Cavaliers game's big, then it's not. It's a mirage.
Perception is reality.
That's exactly what we do here on Monday Mirage. This last one here. How would you have reacted? Real or mirage, Levack? You would have ducked for cover hearing about this wild Hawaii mismanaged message sent out to the people of Hawaii. Have you heard the details of this yet?
You started telling me about this earlier. I hadn't heard it yet. So for everybody who is blissfully unaware of this stupidity, explain the situation to us, and then I'll tell you real and mirage that I would have run for my life.
All right. So, and I thought about my own personal honeymoon that's coming up in a few months here, that all these people who are in Hawaii get an alert on their phone. emergency, missile threat hitting Hawaii. This is not a drill. Duck for cover. Find shelter. So they were sent an emergency text message that said a missile was on the way to Hawaii. So if you looked at that, I would have freaked.
Right.
I'm like, wait, what? And people freaked out in Hawaii, and rightfully so.
Especially with everything going on in North Korea and everything like that.
Yeah. And then they said it probably would take 2 hours for the missile to hit from North Korea to Hawaii. So all of a sudden, 15 minutes later, like, oh, our bad, false alarm. We hit the wrong button. Our bad. Dude.
I don't know what. Here's the thing. Real, I would have run for my life. I would have tried to figure something out. Like, what part of Hawaii is it hitting? Hawaii's big. How far can I get? But even more real, there's no way I believe them that they screwed up. Like, there's no way that I think that there wasn't something that told them that a missile was coming or they didn't shoot a missile down somewhere.
You don't think it was like just a wrong button hit? You think something was happening?
Come on. No.
That's the statement they put out.
All right. We've been in the United States for over 200 years. How many of those have come out? How many false alarms for missiles? We've had this technology through the cell phones for a good 20, right?
Yeah.
How many times have you got one? The only other thing I can think of is when those guys found a way to jack into the system and tell everybody a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And then what was worse about that is they used the real tone that comes through for the emergency alert system. So every time radio stations played it back, it triggered another tone saying that it was going to be more zombies. So I got to tell you, I'm going to say real, something happened.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised by your reaction. I feel like there's got to be a group of people that we know that once they got the missile text would have been like, all right, whatever. Go get some more food, I guess. Can I get another drink over here, please? Like, there might be a group of people they're like, well, if we're going down, might as well have a good time as we go down here. It's not us. I'm sure there's people out there, but it's not me and you now. We just found out.
I got to get the kid, some provisions, and I'm on my way.
Yeah.
I'm headed for the mountains.
I'm following you guys. I know you guys are very good at fighting off zombies. The zombie apocalypse was next.
I get together with the right group before all HE double hockey six breaks loose. We will be good for a good long time, my friends. You just look out. That is Monday Mirages, and it's very real that it's over.